How to pray without ceasing. In this sequel, we're going to continue on how to pray without ceasing. We're going to go through point number 2. Point number 2 is developing a trust that God has your best interest at heart. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29 and the verse 11 that I know the thoughts that I have, or the plans that I have towards you. Thoughts of peace and not of evil. Because many people feel that, God, why did this happen to me? Why did you allow this to happen to me? Why did you allow my whoever to pass away? Or why didn't I get that promotion? And all these things. And God had to specifically come and tell us that the plan is not of evil, but it's of peace. And then he says, to give you an expected end. Now that word expected is from the Hebrew word kavah. Now that word kavah means to trust or to hope. But the translation that I like is the longing. That God will give you what you are longing for. Like what you expect is what you are longing for. But what you're longing for is not what your mind wants. It's what your spirit is longing for. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, I believe from the verse 13, that knoweth no man save the spirit of the man. That the Bible is saying that you don't even know yourself. You don't know what's really driving you. You don't know what's really pushing you forward. But your spirit knows what is pushing you forward. Your spirit knows you. So God is coming to give an expected end to your spirit, and not even your flesh or your mind. Okay? And that's why sometimes it looks like things happen to us that are bad, but in the long run, sometimes they look good, because the Bible says that all things work together for good. So how can a negative thing turn out to be a good thing for me? Let's go to the Garden of Eden, for instance. After man fell, the Bible says, and the Lord drove them out of the Garden of Eden. Now, this looks like a bad thing is happening to you. But I believe that in the realm of the spirit, a good thing was happening. Because if they were to remain in the garden and then eat of the tree of life, they would have been immortal in sin. And then they would have no chance of a resurrection. They would be condemned to hell, fire forever. But because they were driven out, they now stand a chance of salvation and the coming of the Christ. That the Lord released a prophecy that, and the seed of the woman shall come and bruise the seed of the serpent. That I one day will come and send my son, and his blood will pay the sins, or will pay the price for each and every one of us. And now we stand the hope of salvation. Or secondly, when he then said that, okay, and in child labor you have your pain, and I shall put enmity between the woman and the serpent, right? God is putting that enmity because that's what the woman fell to. So God is making you hate